Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. This is the Daily Dish with me, your host, Ron E. Bradley, coming at you somewhere in the sunny USA. Actually, everybody knows I'm here in Orlando. I guess that's not a hidden thing. Anyway, I hope that wherever you are out there, you are having a phenomenal day, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, middle of the nighttime, whenever you happen to be watching. I hope it's phenomenal for you. Speaking of the day, as of the recording and live streaming of this, today is the 19th day of March, 2025. We are we're not mid-spring. It's almost spring. Winter's almost over. We are almost to the last day of the official last day of winter and entering spring, and all of that's about to happen. And just as spring hits, we are also going to be hit with a lot of snow, as you know, because Snow White is coming out on like the first day of spring. My eyes are they're doing the thing. I can't see. The allergies are still there. My eyes are watering like crazy. Anybody else who is suffering from allergies this time of year? See, the thing is, in Florida, the allergy season is early. It's February and March. When I lived in Missouri, the allergies hit mostly starting the very tail end of March and all the way into June, April and May. But here in Florida, pretty much by the second week of April, I don't need my allergy medication anymore. But anyway, hopefully everybody else is having a fantastic day out there. Phenomenal day. Let's see how my sound is. Checking my sound device over here. Fantastic day. Oh, sounds pretty good to me. I don't know. Andy W says, good morning from rainy Oregon. And we're going to be saying hi to everybody out there shortly. I got to tell you guys, I almost did not do the show this morning. I woke up late. I had a late night last night, making sure that I'm caught up on Daredevil. I could review it, but the season is getting off to the last two episodes there's some big things that happen like right at the end of the episodes, but the episodes themselves, it's like the story is kind of plodding along. Because it's a television series, it has to go slow, and I kind of get that. But I do think that because the original Daredevil series was released season by season, in other words, before on the Netflix Daredevil show, when they first dropped Daredevil, they dropped a season at a time. So the entire season one dropped, and people could binge it. And I think it certainly feels like people that were big fans of Daredevil in that way, some of them I know because I've seen in the comments that people are waiting till the entire season drops so they can binge it because that's the way they want to watch it. So interesting stuff going on there with the DD, the double D, the Daredevil. Andy W, good morning from rainy Oregon. Man, I gotta really, really watch how I tap things on the screen here. But anyway, I want to thank you for being here. All of you guys really help me out more than you know, because without you, I definitely wouldn't be here. Because a lot of times, like when I get up late, like I did today, and I have the thought, my gosh, I'm just so tired. We do plan on maybe doing a live stream too later in the day from Disney. Disney's got the Easter eggs out at the Grand Floridian. We want to show those. So there's a very, very good chance that later on today we'll be doing a second live stream, and we will be doing that very potentially from Walt Disney World. If we do a live stream at all, it will be from Walt Disney World because we want to go to the Grand Floridian and see the Easter eggs. It'll probably be after 3:00 this afternoon, I would think, because we have some other things on the docket for today. But anyhow, I just want to thank you all for being here. I haven't even had my morning usually what I have is as 1 cup of caffeinated beverage prior to the show. This is that cup, and it's definitely not prior to the show. So I am in the midst of my waking up. So I figure you and I, we all wake up together. And you give me my energy. You're the energon to my transformer. You are yes, you are my energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning to be here with you.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
So let's say good morning to everybody that has come here in the chat. By the way, if you were paying attention, you may have noticed also that it was very, very last minute that I came up with the specific story that I wanted to focus on for the day. As you know, Snow White comes out in theaters officially on Friday, but really that means tomorrow because they have the preview day, which is really a full day because they start at 2:00 in the afternoon. So we'll be doing some more Snow White stories. I posted a video about Snow White, and it's actually gotten some traction. And based on that, I'll probably be doing hopefully posting another one later today about how bad the premiere was and all of the other things that are coming up. It's just what an interesting movie this is, Snow White. I'll talk about it later, but it's just strange to me how good it should have been, because it should have been. They're trying to market it now as a celebration of the 1937 version, but little too little, little too late. Way too late, really, unfortunately. So first in the house today was Snortapoopas Q Burr saying, hello, humans and other critters. And hello to Follow the Bradley's Fun. Hey, wait, that's me. I'm one of the Follow the Bradley's Fun people. I am one of the Bradleys on that list. And then hanging with Erica and Raph. Good afternoon in Germany. I hope you're having a good day over there. Snortapoopas Cuber says hi to them. Tom F says, happy hump day, y'all. And my mom is here. Good morning, Mom. Everybody say hi to my mom. Sin is in the house. Sin is always around us. It's really, really quiet in here today, surprisingly. Usually there's like lawnmowers or something outside. People saying hi to each other. And then I see the Bud Files have come in. The Bud Files, Sue, and the Bud Files have come in. And says hi. Fairbrick Studio, Wayne, good to see you. Wayne doing those wonderful videos that are so relaxing just to put on in the background. Fairbrick Studio, you go over to Fairbrick Studio and he's got a lot of good relaxing videos over there. Native Hawaiian is here. Aloha and good morning, y'all. For the record, Native Hawaiian had nothing to do with the Polynesian Island Tower monstrosity at Walt Disney World. I just want to put that out there so everyone knows Native Hawaiian had nothing to do with that. Good morning. Dan's Live at the Kingdom says, good morning. Adriana Caselotti will always be our Snow White. Rachel can enjoy her empty seats at the premiere. Yes, indeed. We'll check on those seats shortly. And then people saying hi back and forth. Andy W. Andy W. Good morning from rainy Oregon. I see you coming in the house. And good morning to Andy W. So that's everybody so far. I expect more people will trickle in over time. So good morning, everybody. I want to thank everybody for being here right now. I want to let everybody know there's a couple things. We got a goal on the broadcast. We've got 5. My goal is a little bit different. I let people chime in at any level, so 99 cents and above for super chats. And apparently super stickers don't count towards that, which I think is really weird. But anyway, we have a goal of 5. We will be releasing the free VIP memberships to thatparkplace.com. If we hit that goal today, so we've got some gifties available for you. Also, we are at 68 members of the channel. Now, that usually changes every night overnight. I think that what we would need to hit 75 and be solid and know that we're hitting 75 is about 15 new memberships during the show or during the day today. So if you become a member, let me know. Well, I see that in the chat, member milestones or gifties. All of that helps. We really want to get to 75. We want to get over 75 so we can get that next emoji. By the way, I didn't know this yesterday. I'm like kind of honored by this, but like I'm an emoji on the pro channel. I had no idea. Yesterday I was like, I'm on the WDW Pro show yesterday, right? And I'm watching it also, and I'm watching the chat go by, and I see this like follow the Bradley's Fun in the chat that looks like an emoji thing, and I go over and I check my device, and sure enough, our family's an emoji on WDW Pro, which I think is completely awesome, and I'm so honored by that. That was very, very cool. So I want to make some new emojis over here, and the next 2 levels for that are 75 and 100. So anybody that can help out with gifties or memberships or anything like that, that's super. That's kind of higher up on my list right now than the super chat. So just to let you know, we appreciate all of that help, and of course, any of that happens, and we're going to celebrate it. So what are the celebrations? The celebrations come with anything purchased from the spread shop, any donations via PayPal, buymeacoffee.com. Those are out there. But of course, during the show, also super chat, super thanks, super stickers, membership milestone chat. Somebody becomes a member, or gifted memberships or dropped. We are going to celebrate that, and we can afford to add more celebrations and everything else when we get those up over 75 and 100. The next 2 big milestones for the channel on memberships are 75 members and 100 members, and any of that stuff drops, and we are going to celebrate it, and a celebration is going to look something like this. I wonder when that happened. Tom F says I've been an emoji for a while. I don't know when it happened. I just caught it for the first time yesterday. I'm like, oh, that's very, very cool. I'm an emoji on the pro channel. Yeah, once you get over 100, then it starts. It's like further and further out. You got to get 150, and then 200, and then it goes by 50s. Eventually, it goes by hundreds. And if you're in the thousands of members, I can't remember what the max. I think the max is like 50 emojis. It's pretty cool. And I'm also going to start doing members only live streams one time per month. So those are going to start once we get, I would say, 75 members. I'll start doing a members only streams at 75 members. We do have our spread shop. And so here's some of the merchandise available at the spread shop. If you can see the Make Disney Walt Again hat, that's available on there. That's right there. And then we've also got the Fedora Finds logo stuff. So Fedora Finds are the news-related, news commentary type shows that I do. Which is the gray one this one. I love that one. I love this color because my colors pop on this particular shirt. And then we've also got the, let's see, we've also got Follow the Bradley's Fun logo stuff on there. Boom, ba-da-bo-ba-da-bo. So all that merch is available. Anybody buys something during the show, just let me know that you purchased it during the show so we can celebrate that, because that is definitely something we want to celebrate. Now, let's get to the stories. By the way, is anybody on Culture Watch? I do not have my link set up for Culture yet, I don't think. I will check. Let me check Culture. Always go to check for some good culture out there. Culture Casino. There we go. Snow White is the poison apple for dismal Disney is his headline today. There we go. All right, Culture is saved. Now, what we're going to go to now is my local theater. Let's see how. Go and Shogi just popped in. I'll see you, Go and Shogi. Go and Shogi. Good morning. It's okay. I was also late this morning too, Go and Shogi. I didn't have the thumbnail for this posted until literally like 9:25. Because I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do. But thank you for being here. Go and Shogi. I was letting everybody know we're at a point where we need about 15 members to come in kind of all in one day to make sure that we go over that 75 amount. And we do that. You slept through your alarm. Anyway, if we hit 10 members today could do it, because that would take me to 78, right? But I don't know if that's going to come down below, and then I would hate to hit 78, but then when it registers it overnight, then I'm down to like 74. That would suck. So I say 15 because that gives me that breathing room where if we hit 15 new members of the channel today, we definitely hit 75 tomorrow, and we get that new emoji, and then that goes out for a vote. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, Go and Shogi looks at watch. That's funny. Anyhow, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to look at the theater that I might normally go to if I were going to go see. Now, the thing that sucks about me not going to go see it is I'm not going to be on the pro show reviewing this unless they want me on there for the fact that I watched the original Snow White. But just out of principle alone, and the fact that nobody paid me $500 to go, like most of the pro show people that are going are going because they got paid a $500 donation to go. That has not happened for me, and that's fine, because now I don't have to torture myself. However, we want to find out, if I were to go, what would be the availability at my local theater. So let's put that on the screen. Now, What's the first thing that you notice when I pop this on my screen? Anybody say it in the chat. You should notice one big thing that I'm noticing right away. The very second that I put this on the screen, I noticed something very particular about this. See, then I need more coffee. Well, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gal Gadot. Exactly. Exactly, Juliet. They are advertising the evil queen. Notice Gal Gadot. Gabe is there. Hey, Gabe. Gabe Novicia. Novicio. Gabe Novicio. Oh, I like that name, Novicio. Very cool. Yes, the evil queen. That is exactly what my point is. This is how the theater's been told to advertise this, because you know that they get this from Disney, right? And Disney says, we want you to put this up, and this is so notice there is the queen, there is the apple, and just below her is this tiny little Prince Farquaad looking dude. Oh, no, wait, that's Snow White. So let's see what happens if we go to buy tickets. And hopefully you guys can see this. Exactly. Gal Gadot, the supposedly evil queen. Good afternoon, Juliet. I see you there. I see you. The supposedly evil queen. First of all, I gotta say, her face in this picture is freakishly gorgeous. Like just the way they did it, the way that her makeup is. There's nothing about her that looks evil, really. She looks just, I don't know. I look at this woman and I think, my goodness, she is a Wonder Woman. See what I did there? Anyhow, let's go to the show times to my local theater, which is right here in Orlando. Now, this theater is 15 minutes from the gates of Disney World, so it is an alternative to paying, like going to Disney Springs and seeing the more expensive version of it, because the seats at this theater are a little less expensive and they have recliners. It's an amazing seat. They have literally full day beds. So we're going to go to the 20th. And there it is, Disney Snow White. And again, even in the main poster, the evil queen hovers over Snow White. Hey, Jonathan, good to see you. Yes, Gal Gadot was promoting this at Disneyland. That is true. So here's Disney Snow White. Let's see what's available. Tomorrow we've got 7 showings. All right, so 7 showings. So let's check out the first showing. Let's see if there's any availability at all at 2 p.m. Did I lose my internet? I don't know what happened, but there it is. Okay. All right, so this is the March 20th, 2025, 2 p.m. showing. You can see it on the screen. What is up, Jesus? Jesus A. Ceballos Jr., Cuban Superman. Good morning. I always love seeing you in my chats on Facebook, buddy. So I appreciate you being here. Let's see here. So, well, right down front, there's plenty of seats available. Let me just scroll. All right. So there's the entire middle is available. All of these seats right here are premium seats, and all of these seats so I could go see this the problem is, if I go see this at 2:00 in the afternoon and I rent a daybed for it, I will literally fall asleep. But we could do it. I don't know. I don't know. That's not my plan. not my plan. But there's, boy, I don't know. I'm almost tempted with the fact that there's literally nobody in this theater, nobody at the screening. Obviously, people will show up last minute. Now, what I will say, there's going to be some seats sold, as you'll see in just a minute. But people do show up last minute and buy the seats at the theater still, because if you buy the seats at the theater, when like on this one, I go to Snow White tomorrow and I buy the seats at the theater, it's going to save me some money because there's no processing fee, for the online pre-purchase tickets. So they'll be cheaper. Let's check out the other showings, though, shall we? We've got the 3:45 show. I don't know why the website is so slow. But here it is. There's the 3:45 show. Surely there's seats sold during spring break week for Disney's Snow White at 3:45. Oh, there's 3 of them. 3 seats are sold right there. Okay, let's see. See that gray. See those 3 gray seats right in the middle of the screen, right there. You're probably not seeing that. That's my cursors. You're probably not seeing my cursor. Yeah. So 3. There's very few, as far as I know. There's no screenings today of this one. The review embargo lifts at 3:00. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Wow, this is crazy. Now on Friday there might be more seats sold than on Thursday. This is the preview. Oh, look, there's a seat in back that's sold. That's 4. There are 4 seats sold at the 3:45 showing. Look at that. All right, now let's go to the 4:45 show. Now this is closer to people are getting off work. I'm sure they're getting off work and just rushing to go see Snow White at 4:45. And again, this is the theater with the day beds, and not one seat is sold at the 4:45 show. So we've got the 2 p.m. show and the 4:45 show are completely empty. I think I went back too far. Somehow I've ended up on the pricing page. All right, let's go back here. Go back to the right date. Go back to Snow White. All right, so let's see. We've reviewed 2 and 3, 5, and 4:45 so far. Out of the first 3 showings, only 4 seats total are sold. Now we get into the prime time, 6:45. Surely this one is filled up to the brim at 6:45 p.m. Let's see. There's plenty of seats down front. That's typical. Oh, hey, look at that. The middle row. The middle row is sold out. Finally, we've got a sold out middle row. 6:45. Could be one large school group that's going. We don't know. Because you usually don't see this entire middle row sold out like that exactly. So that's kind of funny. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 6 is 17, and 20, and 27. So, oh, look at that. You got 27 tickets sold. Look at that. 27 tickets for the prime time show. And there's a late prime time as well. And that's the 7:15 show. Still plenty of tickets available for prime time. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to get a bad seat if you go at 6:45. There's still plenty of good seats for that show. But let's check out the most popular primetime show that there would be, and that is the 7:15 p.m. show. And we have plenty of middle seats available for that one. There's only 3 of the middle seats sold out, as a matter of fact, for that one. And then you have your day beds right here. They got 3 day beds sold out, so that is 6 seats, 6 and 9. 6 and 3 is 9 and 11. These 2 seats back here. You got 3 in the back. That makes it 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. 22 seats sold for the prime time 7:15 p.m. showing. And at 9:45, let's see if there's anybody gonna go late to see Snow White. 9:45, not a seat sold. And at 10:15, for the 10:15 show. Not even one. Not even one. So, as we're looking at opening day at a theater with 7 screenings and hundreds of seats available, opening day, hundreds of seats available, each screening, and we've got a grand total of 27, 22 is 49, about 53 seats sold for the entire day. I don't know. I haven't gone to AMC Disney Springs for as far as photo ops are concerned. They probably are not advertising the CGI dwarf monstrosities. And then Jesus says, similar situation in the theaters to me when looking at the AMC app, a max of 5 seats sold per showing. Yikes. The reason I looked at the theater that I looked at is because it's a dine-in theater. They have a full menu of food. They have a full menu of drinks. You can actually drink alcohol in that theater. They literally have a bar that you can walk up and sit at. And all of that being said, it's they have recliner seats. They have Dolby sound. They have laser digital projection. It's got like all of the bells and whistles except for the size of the screens. They don't have any giant like IMAX screens at that particular theater, but other than that, they've literally got all the bells and whistles. It's the way you want to see a movie and still spend a little bit less. Yeah. Tom F says you'll need drinks to watch this one. That's maybe that's one thing that they might do is they might sell some drinks. We've got hearts going. I see hearts going in the chat, and I appreciate those hearts. Let's do a little celebration because somebody's hitting me up with hearts.
Is it too much? Too much? It's a birthday!
Oh, this is just the best of my scene. All right, so hopefully somebody will get it started in the chat with at least a 99-cent super chat. We can't have 0 out of 5 on the goal. Let's at least get 1. Gabe says I might consider watching it if tickets were free and they throw in free snacks. Yeah, they don't want to lose money on it, so that's probably not gonna happen. My beautiful wife is here. She is in the chat. Welcome in, baby. Good morning, Virginia. My beautiful wife, my baby. Good morning, baby. Yes, they ought to sell, the poison apples, right? Anyway, we've got a couple of stories out of that park place that I want to get to, and hopefully I find the correct one. I should have scrolled down to this earlier. What time is it? I'm trying to see how many stories I can get to. Why am I not finding the story that I... No, that's not it. That's not it. Come on, that Park Place. There's a very particular story that I saw this morning on my phone, and I'm not finding it now. Why? Oh boy, I hate it when this happens, but I think that I have an asset ready to go. I think this is it. Aha, there we go. I did find the right story. All right, so that's my main story, though. This is the one that I'm going to be sharing right now. So, let's see. Buen dia, baby, buen dia. They already lost money with. Okay, so here's the thing with the snacks. Disney doesn't lose money on snacks. Theaters lose money on snacks. Individual theater I do not want to punish individual theater owners. It's not their fault that they have cruddy movies to display. So if and by the way, if you're going to go watch this, you're going to need some depression food anyway, or some drinks or whatever. So I'm almost done. Yeah. All right, guys. As I'm hitting these stories, hopefully we'll be surprised with some gifties or movement towards the goal as we put this story, the first story, on the screen. This first story, Rachel Zegler, as you know, has continued to cause controversy surrounding her new Snow White film, her Snow White role. And a lot of it has to do with her own personal politics that she keeps putting out there for some reason, even though most people know, most actors and actresses know it's better to stay away from that stuff. Zegler, unfortunately, seems to continue to stick her foot in it, whether it's sticking her foot in the mud or sticking her foot in her mouth. She continues to do it. She continues to step in it. Rachel Zegler says Disney's Snow White will help fight prejudice and race division in a magazine interview that once more ties Disney film into her personal politics. And of course, this is out of That Park Place by Marvin Montanaro. And this was just dropped this morning. That was her, I believe, as Maria in West Side Story. It seems as though, even with Disney's tight media restrictions in place, Rachel Zegler just can't stop herself from making headlines every time she opens her mouth. Astoundingly, Zegler has once again connected her portrayal of Disney's live-action Snow White to tone-deaf political messaging. In a recent interview with Allure magazine, Zegler openly tied her casting and the film itself to broader social issues of race, inclusion, and combating division, which is odd because it seems to me that she's sowing division, not combating division, but could be wrong. Just, my take on the whole thing. According to Zegler, Snow White isn't just about fairy tales. It's a tool to promote acceptance and discourage social prejudice. So again, she's tying a movie made for entertainment to social justice messaging and political activism. Is that really what we want our entertainment, our escapism to be? That's the real question here. Her comments come amid months of controversy surrounding the film and once again shine a spotlight on Rachel Zegler's race and how Hollywood frames diversity. Zegler's early career, casting scrutiny, and identity politics. In the interview, Zegler recalled her early struggles auditioning for West Side Story, revealing that white studio executives she made sure to reference their race, repeatedly questioned her background because her last name didn't immediately signal her ethnicity. There's confusion because I don't have a single ounce of Latin in my name. When I was in the running for Maria in West Side Story, they kept calling to ask if I was legit. I remember thinking, do you want me to bring my abuelita in? I will. She credits Steven Spielberg for stepping in and personally advocating for her, securing her the role. But there's an important detail often glossed over. While Zegler is of Colombian descent, West Side Story's Maria is specifically Puerto Rican. Yet Hollywood treated her background as a broad, interchangeable fit, highlighting an uncomfortable trend in the industry's diversity efforts. This isn't isolated to Zegler. Hollywood routinely casts actors of one ethnicity to portray another, often lumping all Latino or Asian backgrounds together as if they're interchangeable. Audiences have seen similar examples with Chinese actors playing Koreans, Japanese actors playing Chinese actors, and so on. I'll be honest with you. I myself am a white actor who happens to be in a Korean television show back in the early 2000s. True story. I know it's weird, but you can look it up. It's called Hotelier. And yes, I was played a very small background role in that show. It was filmed in Las Vegas. So despite loud commitments to authenticity, the industry's actions reveal how often surface level representation is prioritized over cultural accuracy. Zegler connects Snow White to social messaging. Zegler's comments about Snow White make it clear that for her, the film's purpose extends beyond storytelling. She sees her casting and the movie itself as key to fighting division and encouraging acceptance. The reality is, I was given a chance because I could sing, Zegler said, ignoring Disney's love of race swapping for the sake of so-called progress. My only prayer for the future of diversity and inclusion is that we invest in and nurture talent no matter what they look like. She then directly tied the film to broader societal change. That's why it's so important for the next generation to see movies like Snow White, she said, to realize there's nothing wrong with choosing to do what's right, and it doesn't have to be with anger or a clenched fist. Anger can be a powerful emotion, but it doesn't bring the brightest future. Snow White chooses kindness and still makes change. Power takes many forms. I hope we'll see a new dawn of kindness and acceptance in the next couple of years, and people don't see the need to use hate to cause further division. That's not hypocritical at all. This is coming, by the way, from a person, and they may say this in the article, but this is my own 2 cents that I'm putting in here. This is coming from a person who literally wished half of the United States that they would never, ever know peace. That's not hateful at all. In other words, Zegler is positioning the film as more than entertainment, and it's intended to teach children lessons about societal prejudice. That means she's once more directly tying the movie to her personal politics, and in this case, identity politics. Zegler has famously tied Snow White into her political beliefs in the past, using a promotional post for the film's widely disliked trailer to advocate for Palestine, and I should also say, therefore, Hamas. A pattern in Disney's strategy. Zegler's framing fits neatly within Disney's recent strategy of reimagining its legacy properties through a modern lens. Classic tales once focused on fantasy and adventure are increasingly being used as platforms for contemporary messaging around identity and inclusion. Whether audiences embrace the shift or feel it distracts from the original stories remains to be seen. But Zegler's remarks confirm that, at least in her eyes, Snow White is not just a fairy tale. It's a tool to address social issues, with Rachel Zegler's race and casting serving as symbolic proof of progress. See, okay, I'm going to stop the article for just a second and ask this question. How does this make sense? Okay. In West Side Story, they wanted somebody to portray a Puerto Rican. The only thing that mattered to them was not that the actress was Puerto Rican, but that she had any kind of Latina background or Latino background. Tina, Anyway, that's all they asked for that, which would then make you think, well, Snow White is of German Caucasian background. Wouldn't they also need, for authenticity of the character, to cast at least a person of European white descent to make sure that the character is accurately portrayed as per the storyline says? I mean, it bothers me because of the mass hypocrisy. I mean, huge hypocrisy. Just like Rachel Zegler saying that she doesn't want to cause hate and sow division, while at the same time saying she wants half of America to never know peace. You can't. It's just massive hypocrisy is coming out of Rachel Zegler, who is basically the poster girl for Hollywood hypocrisy right now. So Hollywood's mixed messages. While Zegler's message may resonate with some, it raises an interesting contradiction. On the one hand, she speaks passionately about the importance of diversity and representation, and on the other, her own casting experiences reveal how Hollywood often applies these values inconsistently, substituting one ethnicity for another, flattening distinct backgrounds into generic categories. And let me tell you, my wife is Venezuelan. Venezuelan is very specific to you, right? Maybe you can let the chat know how important it is that people know that you are a Venezuelan, not just a Latina. So it's very, very important when it comes to cultural backgrounds. Now, to me, I was born in the United States, so it's not as important to me that I happen to be of German or Irish. I'm German, Irish, Scottish, and French descent. Those are where I come from, and some Native American. I'm kind of a mutt, not quite as important to me. I do love my German cultural background, the food and all that stuff, and then it's fun to celebrate St. Patrick's Day as an actual Irish person. And as far as my French is concerned, I really don't know much about my French Huguenot background. So, but my point is, Hollywood is obviously lumping things together that don't necessarily belong together. And any good Venezuelan person will tell you, for example, that a Venezuelan and a Mexican are incredibly different. Just look at their food. You have Venezuelan food, which is not spicy at all, versus Mexican food, which is all about the hot and the spice and the sizzle. And they're both very good. I like both of them, but they're very different. Okay. And I know there's a lot of people that don't understand that, who might be Caucasian. And a lot of those people don't exactly have, I don't want to go into it, but they're not wise about the way they put it. Let's put it that way. There is, of course, Zegler surrounded by the CGI dwarf monstrosities. Zegler has never played a role that's specifically Colombian. Rather, Hollywood seems to lump her into a generic Latina ethnicity, famously portraying a Puerto Rican girl and now a German princess. In a cultural moment where authenticity is championed, the disconnect is hard to ignore. I guess they're going for the fact that she's half Polish, by the way. For those that don't know, she is, I believe, half Polish. So, conclusion, more than a fairy tale, as Disney prepares to release Snow White, Zegler's comments make it clear for her this film is about more than fantasy. It's about real-world race issues. Whether audiences want their fairy tales tied to these broader societal messages is the question Disney and Zegler are betting on. And I don't really understand exactly why they want to go this route. What I do understand is why Disney doesn't really like it a whole heck of a lot when Rachel Zegler opens her mouth, because she says a lot of things still that probably don't help the movie's final box office numbers. So there you go. Go and Shogi has gifted one follow the Bradley's Fun membership. Thank you. Let's see. Disney cast crew member Monique, congratulations. You have gotten that membership, and we will celebrate that with let's do So, also, one of the points I think of that is it's not so much about them giving roles to all of these other peoples of different ethnicities. It's about the fact that they are purposefully doing everything they can to take as many roles as possible away from white people. And I hate to say it that way, but it's absolutely 100% true. And hopefully that stops now that there's been a cultural shift over the last 6 months, I'd say. But it's bad because a lot of corporations were doing it and everything else. Dan's Life the Kingdom says she's embarrassing our Colombian people. They don't even like her. Yes, Dan is a Colombian, so and I have a lot of Colombian friends. I know so much because my beautiful wife, Virginia, she's like a Venezuelan arepa and a Colombian arepa are very different. Well, not tremendously different, but they are very different. The Colombian arepas are very small, different deal. They're both called arepas, but they are different. Just like Puerto Rican food and Cuban food and Mexican food and actual Spanish food from Spain are all very, 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 very different. Brazilian food, Portuguese food, it's all so incredibly. There's a great deal of diversity within Hispanic Latina heritage. So a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense. That's right. Dan and my beautiful wife Virginia, you can argue that out in the comments. Arepas are ours. They're Venezuelan. That's right. That is right. So let's see here. And I want to get to this final story. And this is the one. This is the one where the headline comes in. So Rachel Zegler, who is the star of Snow White, she plays the titular role. She made some comments now quite a few years ago about how awful the 1937 version was. It was dated. The prince was like a stalker. It was weird. And basically she was saying all kinds of bad things about the original Snow White movie and how Snow White was, she said some things about the character Snow White that weren't great. And it doesn't seem like she's actually issued any kind of apology per se, but it does seem like, I don't know if she's been talked to about this, but she's turned tail, and now she's honoring the original Snow White actress. So let's see what that is about. This is out of thatparkplace.com. If you're not bookmark it and go there and check them out. Legacy Media rushes to rebrand Rachel Zegler as she fawns over original Snow White voice actress. People runs fluff piece ignoring Snow White controversy. And by people, I do believe it means People magazine. But this is out of That Park Place by Marvin Montanaro. Look at Rachel Zegler. Certainly she's the fairest in the land. With Disney's live-action Snow White remake just days away from release, the Legacy Media is pulling out all the stops to soften Rachel Zegler's public image. The latest example, a laughable puff piece published by People, which sidesteps months of controversy to present Zegler as a sweet, wholesome star, paying tribute to the original Snow White. On March 16th, People ran a glowing article focused on an Instagram post by Zegler where she dressed in homage to Adriana Caselotti, the voice of the original 1937 Snow White. Zegler captioned her post, "Just had to pay homage to the original Snow White, Miss Adriana Caselotti, To Whom I Owe Everything. I noticed that the Instagram posts themselves are not showing up. I wonder if there's a link. Huh. Well, that's interesting. You'll have to go to Instagram yourself to see that post. The piece, I'll start that sentence over. The piece breathlessly covers her retro look, curated photos, and even includes a photo of Zegler posing at the scaled back premiere. Conveniently missing any mention of her past dismissive remarks about Caselotti's film, her political grandstanding during the movie's promotion, or the broader backlash Disney has faced since casting her. Ignoring the elephant in the room. What makes this fluff piece particularly tone deaf is the omission of Zegler's inflammatory comments about the original Snow White. Let's not forget, this is the same actress who previously referred to the 1937 film as dated, criticized the prince's role as a problematic stalker, and dismissively and seemingly contemptuously claimed her version of Snow White wouldn't dream about true love like Caselotti, but would instead focus on leadership. In fact, in a 2022 interview with Variety, Zegler said the cartoon was made in 1937 and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. Yeah. There's Rachel and her 7 nightmare fuel CGI dwarf monstrosities. She also added, she's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. These remarks alienated fans of the original film and sparked waves of criticism. Yet, instead of addressing that, people frames her recent post as an earnest tribute to Caselotti, pretending as if the backlash over Zegler's previous dismissiveness never existed. The article also highlights Zegler's interactions with young girls dressed as Snow White at the Los Angeles premiere, clearly designed to paint her in a soft, family-friendly light. What it leaves out is the fact that Disney has kept Zegler away from major U.S. press interviews, resorting to tightly scripted, highly controlled promotional appearances to prevent her from making further headlines. This calculated containment strategy has been in place ever since Zegler's initial interviews stirred controversy, downplaying real tension. While People briefly references tension between Zegler and co-star Gal Gadot, it buries it under vague language about differing political views. There's no deep dive into the real reasons audiences have been critical of Zegler, namely her decision to inject personal political stances, such as her Free Palestine comments, directly into the film's promotional cycle. It's worth reminding readers that this comment appeared on a post specifically intended to promote the Snow White trailer, tying global political conflicts directly into a Disney film rollout. And oh my goodness, a picture tells 1,000 tales. By contrast, Gal Gadot has conducted herself professionally, even delivering a well-received speech at the Anti-Defamation League Summit, where she simply affirmed her identity as a Jewish woman and spoke out against discrimination. Yet, media outlets like People continue to tiptoe around Zegler's controversies while subtly implying that any friction surrounding the film is equally shared between both stars, a narrative that simply doesn't hold up under scrutiny. A broader pattern of legacy media damage control. This isn't the first time we've seen legacy media attempt to rewrite the narrative when a major studio project is in trouble. The same actress-driven outlets who the same access-driven outlets who depend on close relationships with Disney are now doing their part to run interference. Rather than confront the genuine backlash stemming from Disney's creative choices and Zegler's public missteps, they're offering sanitized coverage designed to distract audiences. It's no coincidence that this People piece dropped days before the film's release, conveniently timed to soften Zegler's image right as Disney braces for potential box office underperformance. Combine that with the last-minute review embargo, scaled back US premiere, and limited press appearances, and it's clear this is part of a larger coordinated effort. Audiences see through it. But here's the reality. Audiences aren't falling for it. No amount of curated Instagram posts, soft focus tributes, or smiling red carpet photos can erase the series of missteps that have plagued Snow White's marketing campaign. Disney's reluctance to let Zegler speak freely in the U.S. media and the sudden surge of fluff pieces like this one are glaring signs that the studio is more concerned with damage control than genuine fan engagement. The question remains, why won't media outlets like People hold Disney and Zegler accountable for the controversies that they created? Instead, they're offering audiences a polished, sanitized version of events that conveniently ignores the reasons why so many fans are skeptical of this remake. As Snow White nears release, that's tomorrow, expect even more of these carefully orchestrated legacy media plays, but the underlying problems aren't going away no matter how many fluff pieces they churn out. Reminds me of that product called Fluff, that marshmallow fluff. That's what the mainstream, lamestream legacy media are doing with Snow White. They're turning Snow White into marshmallow fluff. There you go. Pam Emsa says, hey, Ron and chat. Yes, sad part, none of this needed. If Dinklage and Zegler had kept their mouths shut, this movie might have done fine. Yeah, I mean, it might have, but also, because of the backlash, Disney probably changed the movie to try and make it as much more like the 1937 version, trying to still kind of toe the line of keeping their themes that Snow White is still fearless, fair, brave, and true, whatever the heck that they're going for with that, rather than seeking true love. But the fact of the matter is, little girls watching Snow White as a princess, of course they're dreaming of true love. That's what little girls dream of. Why is it a bad thing? Is it a bad thing to want, it's so funny because the left is always saying things about love. Love is love, and love is this, and love is that, blah, blah, blah. But yet, when it comes to a princess dreaming about true love, oh my gosh, that's so wrong. How is it so wrong to want to love somebody and to be loved by that other person? And also, how is it so wrong for that to be a genuine hetero relationship between a male and a female person, which is what creates families and makes babies? You know why? Because it's an attack on the family structure. The family structure, as noted in when our country was founded, when the United States was founded, the family structure was noted to be the strongest structure that exists in society, is the family structure. The traditional family structure, male, female, husband, wife, children. That structure is the strongest structure that can possibly exist. And when it's functional, properly functional, and everything is done well within a family structure, families and people and the people that come from those families flourish. Our society wants to do everything they can to destroy that and say that that structure doesn't work, and it's a sad note of where we are in society. But you know what's not a sad note? Gifted memberships from Go and Shogi. Thank you so much for the gifted membership. And we have to celebrate that before we go. And let's do one more celebration, and we'll do And with that, we're going to send you right over to Culture Casino. Say hi to him from Follow the Bradley's Fun. And until next time, thank you so much for being here today. And we'll see you real soon. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. See you real soon, everybody. Bye. Ciao.